Rebecca, I'll start with you. A lot of pensioners have been worried about this spectre of a cashless welfare card. Do you accept that the government has no plan to put that forward?
I make absolutely no apologies for highlighting this issue and fighting on behalf of the people in our community. It was Scott Morrison and Anne Ruston, as Social Services Minister, who said that they wanted to apply the card more broadly. And if they don't want to do that, then they should announce that they are going to scrap it. Only Labor has committed to scrapping the privatised cashless welfare card if we are elected.
The privatised cashless welfare card? What do you mean by that?
Well, it's run by a private company, by Inju. They make the decisions about which businesses people can and can't spend their money at. And I've heard from so many local families who are
Who makes the decisions? A private company, not the government.
Well, a private company with the government.
They don't make the decisions, though. Do you accept that?
Well, that's right. It's the government who is sanctioning all this. It's the Morrison government who supports all of it. They have already put local businesses on the list of places where
Is that true, Terry?
So I think we should go back on this because it needs to be explained, because we need context, which is a good thing. So it was introduced in 4 areas around Australia: WA, South Australia, Hervey Bay and Queensland, and it was at the behest of the community that wanted that. It's for youth under 35 in particular circumstances, so it doesn't apply to everyone, and the whole idea of the scheme is to get people job ready. Now, last time I checked, we weren't trying to get people on the age pension job ready.
Has there ever been a proposal put to you?
Never. In my 3 years in Parliament, we have never spoken, because it doesn't make any sense.
Where does this come from then?
I have no idea.
Rebecca?
Well, I'd like to make a couple of points. Firstly, it's Liberal MPs themselves who have raised their...
Never about the pension, though. Do you accept that?
Pardon?
Never about the pension, though. Do you accept that?
They have raised concerns about the further expansion of the cashless welfare card.
They never said pension, though. Do you accept that?
Well, it was Anne Ruston, as Social Services Minister, who said that she wanted to have a conversation with the nation about the further use of the cashless debit card as a welfare measure.
But are you extrapolating that to mean pensioners rather than her saying that?
Scott Morrison is on the public record as saying that he considers the age pension to be a welfare measure. And I would add that there are already local families in our community who are being hurt by this cashless welfare card.
Do you accept that the age pension is a welfare measure?
I don't agree with what Scott Morrison said when he said that.
But the age pension is a welfare measure.
It was Scott Morrison who said that he considers the age pension to be a welfare measure.
Okay, what's wrong with that statement, though?
I know that's really offensive to a lot of age pensioners who worked really hard, paid their taxes, and they don't like the fact that Scott Morrison describes it as welfare. But I'd like to make
what should it be described as, do you think?
Well, I'd like to make the point that I have spoken to local families who are already being hurt by the cashless welfare card. I've spoken to people who've had a baby, and under this cashless welfare card, they can't buy cheap second-hand furniture that they're not even going to need in a few years. They can't buy cheap goods online. They have to buy brand new products.
In your electorate?
That's correct, because there were
How many people are on the cashless welfare card in Longman?
Well, the government, you'd have to ask the government for those statistics, but there were trial sites...
I don't think it's been rolled out here, though.
Correct.
There were trial sites and people have moved. So
okay,
people
sorry,
originally...
let's just get some facts here. Is the cashless welfare card in this electorate?
It already is with certain families because they lived in trial sites when it was introduced,
right, but
and they have now moved to Caboolture and other areas. So I meet them at the markets. I'm at the Caboolture markets every Sunday, and I'm speaking to these local families with young kids who talk about the fact that, you know, they had to buy brand new things from big chain stores, and also about the fact that on the cashless welfare card, can't buy fresh fruit and veg at the markets, but they can buy the stuff you have at the big name supermarkets. So this card is not good for families, and there are people who are living in our community right now who are on the card.
Right now on the card, but it's not being rolled out in this electorate.
So they lived in the trial sites when it was introduced. They have now moved to our region. They are not taken off the card when they are moved into our region. So they are on it.
So how many people are we talking?
You would have to ask the government for those statistics. I just know
but you're the one raising it as an issue, so...
Well, I know from what I hear from locals when I talk to them at the Caboolture markets, or my listening posts, or when
So you're talking about one family that's raised this, or has it been multiple times?
I've had multiple people raise this as an issue.
Okay. Terry, has that been raised with you?
No, never. because we just don't have people here on the card. As I say, it's for particular communities. And I'd like to say that 20% of the card still comes through in a bank account, so it's not the entire payment. The other thing is that if someone wants to go and buy a second-hand fridge, they're able to go down, they're able to apply for a cash advance on the card or get, and that's approved.
Right.
So, you know, people can use that. And look, people have actually, I've talked to other members who have the trial and they've said, some people don't like it, we understand that, but there are other people who were against it to start with who are actually thanking them now and saying, look, it's helped me budget.
But do you guarantee that this is not going to be rolled out for the age pension?
Absolutely.
Okay.
My word on it.